One perfect love family, Jesse Tree here. Much love, much love. Hope you're having a beautiful, beautiful day. You full Buddhas, you. Thank you for sharing your time with me. I know your time is precious and your energy is precious and golden. And that's what I'm here to talk with you today about is the exercise and experience and benefit of the Breatharian or Pranic healing path. And essentially it has to do with this understanding and care, nurturing, management, and intentional direction of your golden energy. I truly believe every one of our hearts are golden, that there is a capacity within all beings for compassion and heroic love. So that's what I want to chant about in this age and to share with you today a bit of my journey and what I see it to be. Because in my experience and what I've observed and what I've studied is that we are heart beings primarily. The first organ that forms is your heart. The cells all first kind of make a toroidal, like apple-looking thing, which is the shape of your electromagnetic field and the electromagnetic field of your heart. And then there's your physical heart, and this physical heart in your adult body has a greater electromagnetic field than the one that comes off your head or any of your other organs, and it's the one that guides all of them. It actually extends 50 feet beyond your body, and the organ of the heart is connected in the Buddhist tradition with wisdom, and the wisdom of compassion in particular. And this, we know this, the heart to be the emblem of compassion and love, and that word compassion has that word compass in it. So your heart is actually 60% neural tissue, at least. It is a fantastic electromagnetic dynamo, and it is your guidance system. This guides this, not the other way around. This rationalizes, reasons, and judges. When you can get this and this in concert and combination, that's part of this path, and what we're trying to seek is a holistic, healthful state. So do not confuse this with depriving yourself of food, or of being harsh on yourself, of being dogmatic in veganism or in any aspect of health. It's about building your health to a very great degree, and primarily it's about honoring yourself and caring about yourself and how you feel. So there's this Buddhist adage that Buddha said, apparently it's attributed to Buddha, who knows, but that if every one of us could make one person in the world happy, and that was ourselves, and if everyone just did that, we would have world peace. It's not really our duty, obligation, or purview to be taking care of another person's peace. That's essentially bondage, and that's what we've got going. Is most of our loving attitude comes with a great deal of attachment and less genuine, heartfelt compassion. And this is the organ we have to regrow, and the consciousness we have to regrow going forward. So the Breatharian Path, to familiarize you, for me, and as I understand it in my experience and also from various teachers, is it's composed of various modalities of health and wellness that we're all becoming more acquainted with in this day and age. Things like fasting, intermittent fasting, juice fasting, as well as retention of your seminal fluid or your sexual fluid, men and women. This is your generative force. This is your creative capacity. This is the best of your cells, and if you can recirculate them, then you become more potentized, as well as this sexual fluid and your sperms and eggs, etc., are also potentized. And so you can birth children with love and intention, with potentized seeds, once you're energetically set up with your economics, with your own heart center stability, and what have you. And this is the thing that is a great, I think, deficiency in our age. Dalai Lama talks about it in terms of like, what if we taught children as one of the most important subjects is how to get in touch with and communicate their emotions non-violently and effectively? What if we taught children how to concentrate, not just said, concentrate? How many of us were told to concentrate? And how many of you have been shown how? Through meditation, through practice, concentration practice, besides reading, besides mental practice, concentration practice. So if we develop these things first in ourselves, then we're in balance. We understand that all things are one, that compassion is the prerogative. That's clear, I won't contest with anyone about that. Compassion is the way. It is our nature. It is the basis of all the world's religions. Love is the religion, universally. Doesn't matter what stripe you call yourself. So, and I attribute this to the nature of us being heart beings. So the other aspects of breatharianism, besides semen retention, and that doesn't mean, you can still make love. There are practices, there are ways in which you can, nurture, a relationship, in these ways. You're just not squandering it's essentially your genetic material, yourself, just your energy. And that can also be your thought and where you direct, because everything being energy, and this whole thing of the aspect of the cerebrospinal fluid and your seminal fluid and your sexual fluid just being the same thing, and they're recirculating. And so the enlightenment experience is dumping of this in the pituitary gland and the blood into the pineal gland, and the crown chakra awakening. And that's what we're seeking through this Breatharian practice, is a consciousness and a state of health, of increasing health, and not sort of dogmatic, self-flagellating kind of New Age religion. This is about potential of health for every human being. So you're using these modes of fasting, this mode of, semen retention, or sexual, being mindful of your sexual energy. There's also energetic cultivation practice. This comes through sleep. Most people don't value sleep enough. Meditation, qigong, massage, reiki, taking some time every day, every week, to be self-caring, to direct your care toward your own self, because you are deserving of it. And who's going to give it to you? Going to be wanting of it of everyone. Give it to yourself. So that's self-care, energy cultivation. There's also not squandering your energy. If they say in Ayurveda, it's good to exert yourself, and it's equally good not to overexert yourself. So we're seeking that balance point in between of exertion and not overexertion. And also what comes to mind with respect to this is understanding that the most important duty we sort of have to ourselves and others in this mode of self-care is simply to relax. That breath, and that the quiet induces a beautiful state of consciousness, of relaxed energetic flow. And when you are in these brainwave states, relaxed states, you're actually functioning at multiple brainwave frequencies, not just one or two. And meditators have now plumbed other brainwave frequencies that they didn't even know existed until recently, until studies. So this is like superpowers that we can open up. The other thing is like hydrate. I use the basis of balancing the four elements: earth, wind, fire, and water. So earth, grounding, probiotic, healthy, organic food, wild foods, superfoods. If you are eating meat, grass-fed, wild caught, what have you, being also in this mode, careful to be prayerful, or if not in that mode, grateful at the very least. These things have beneficial health aspects. So, pardon me, just had some tea. So yes, what you eat, then water. You're 70% water being. Your brain is mostly water. If you're great deal of anxiety and depression is caused simply by dehydration. So hydrate. And my favorite way to do, I'm on a Liquidarian Path. So I've been practicing this up. And just to let you know and share where I'm at, I dry fast, no food or water, for 14 to 20 hours a day or more, occasionally. And I do all liquids aside from that, except for occasionally having a taste of the meal that's being prepared with my family, just to try how it came out, because I'm curious and I'm a human being, and I like to not be punitive or overly exacting on myself. So that keeps me in connection with them. I get to see what it's like. It was like, oh, that smells good, I can try, But, and there's further places to go. This I've been building for 10 years. Don't expect to be there today. Don't expect to be there next week. Give yourself many, many years for this. Okay, so then the water flow. That can be juices, fresh pressed juices, the living water and juices that's structured and enzyme rich and nutrient rich, superfoods, in your juices, what have you. And then the next would be energy or fire. So that comes in the form of being in the sunshine, where your body gets vitamin D, where it improves immunity, where your cell mitochondria are healed by the sun, where the rods and cones in your eyes can process stress chemicals like cortisol. You need that sunshine. Also would be movement, exercise. You can't just be still constantly. You're going to need some exercise, some vigorous exercise. And then also I think of like kind of a combination of earth and energy is grounding, gathering free electrons by being barefoot on the earth. You're actually gathering up energy, literally, and it's healing. It's antioxidant, these negative ions. And then the last one of the elements is wind or breath. So breath being one of the foremost, first and foremost, you can have a whole practice that will heal your body and mind and everything just around the breath. The breath will alkalize. The breath will, release these stress chemicals. The breath will, invigorate the body with oxygen. The breath will improve assimilation and absorption. The breath, and people breathe shallowly because we're trying to suck in our tummy, and then, and breathe, you know what I mean? Breathe. So those, I think, are 4 key points as a discipline, a modality that you practice in, this breatharian life cultivation practice, I'll call it. And so then the last, I would say, would be the cultivation of the inner world and the directing of self-care in thought toward oneself, of cultivating awareness of compassion, of cultivating awareness physically while meditating, of your heart center. That's been a big practice for me, to remember this is who we are. To lead with your chest, to be proud, to be loving, to know that you can be proud because you are a loving person, to yourselves and others, is a joy, and it brings you peace. And it's our right, and it's who we are. So to me, that's this whole last part, is the stabilization of your mind. Because as this electromagnetic dynamo, if you are inflamed and aggravated, if you are emotional, and it's draining, it wears you out if you have these strong attachments. And so by dissolving our attachment to food, dissolving waste in the eliminatory system, in the lymphatic system, in the energetic system, as well as cultivating that energy through the breath, through self-directed care, through care directed towards others, we can then build this state of amazing health, of peace, which is the consciousness we are seeking, and to then have the energy, understanding from a place of experience and knowing and will and wish, having developed the sense of bodhicitta, of a compassionate heart awareness, that we can extend it from a real place to others and not a place of ego striving where we're trying to get accolades, or develop our businesses or what have you. This is about truly becoming the fullness, the human fullness that we are meant to embody, and that we are meant to be, that we're supposed to thrive as vital human beings. Every cell in creation is seeking homeostasis and balance, and it is natural. And in your balance, you're an angel. Your angles, your astrological angle in balance is your angelic state, and out of balance, well, So, I know this was long. Thank you for taking your time with me. This is the path I wish to share with one and all. This path is free to everyone. There are places along the way where there are tools that I can offer you in terms of service, in the form of juices and probiotics and so forth. And if you feel called to that, please reach out to me. Thank you, human family. I appreciate you. I wish and extend compassion and wellness to each and every one of you. May all beings find peace, and may I find peace so I may help all beings. God bless. Love you.